everybody, and welcome to this special on Mercury coming back in bounds. So Mercury comes back in bounds from being out of bounds on the 28th of June this year, and stays in Gemini until the 29th of June, when Mercury enters Gemini. So in astrology, Mercury is the smallest and swiftest planet in the solar system. It's known for its erratic and unpredictable behaviour as it transits across the sky. And because Mercury moves a lot, its movement can have a significant impact on our daily lives because it moves so fast, and the sun and the moon as well. But anyway, so when Mercury is back in bounds, this just refers to when planets re-enter the usual declination of 23.5 or below after going beyond that range out of their usual orbit. So practically, when Mercury comes back into bounds, we may engage in more meaningful conversations, exchange more ideas, and just connect with others on a deeper level. It's a great time for us to become more effective in our communication, whether it be in our personal relationships, professional collaborations, or even within our social circles. When Mercury comes back in bounds, there's a greater likelihood of clear and concise expression, and this can lead to an improved understanding of things and an increase in our interpersonal connections and understanding ourselves as well. So Mercury in bounds, is a practical opportunity over the many months it is in bounds for us to use the power of communication to help build our personal development and build relationships with others and achieve our goals. Okay, so on a worldly, materialistic level, we may become more focused on our financial well-being and going after our material security. When Mercury's in bounds, we may just become more practical about our money management, our investments and career advancement. So it's a good time to assess our financial goals and make strategic decisions and take proactive steps towards building financial stability and abundance into our life. And we do this best when we look after our emotional, psychological and spiritual needs as well. It pushes us to prioritise economic matters, seek opportunities for growth and prosperity, and make practical choices that align with your long-term financial objectives. So it's a time to be resourceful, disciplined and diligent in managing financial resources and maximising your wealth potential. Okay, so on the political front, it's a great time for us to be diplomatic and leaders to engage in negotiations. Political leaders and diplomats may find themselves engaging in positive discussions, seeking peaceful resolutions to conflicts. It promotes effective and non-violent communication that promotes understanding, active listening and cooperation between nations and political entities. It encourages us to employ tact, diplomacy and strategic thinking to achieve our political goals. And it just enhances our skills in persuasion, marketing, compromise, finding middle ground. So it's just a good energy to use for political negotiations, diplomatic plans, and just, resolving conflicts all in all. On the spiritual, esoteric level, Mercury coming back in bounds opens up a gateway and allows us to have deep insights and revelations if we're open to it, allowing us to tap into higher levels of consciousness and spiritual understanding, and we can explore the hidden aspects of ourselves and the universe, uncover hidden truths and gain a deeper understanding of our spiritual journey. So during this time, things like meditation, self-reflection, dance, yoga, other spiritual practices can yield, give profound results. We can have profound moments of clarity, self-discovery and spiritual growth. It also supports us exploring esoteric teachings, ancient wisdom, metaphysical concepts, and it just offers us a transformative experience for seeking spiritual enlightenment. So psychologically, it can help us clear our mental fog and increase our problem-solving skills and boosts our overall cognitive performance. It's a time when ideas can flow more effortlessly and the mind becomes more receptive to new information and perspectives. So it does, gives us this sort of like mental clarity and sharper thinking that can increase our productivity, decision-making abilities, and just give us a greater sense of mental well-being, So it's a good energy to do activities that, boost or use our mental flexibility and cognition, such as studying, research, writing, and engaging in intellectually stimulating conversations. So on the symbolic creative level, it allows us to express ourselves authentically. We're supported and encouraged to embrace our true selves without fear or judgment or criticism. So it gives us fertile ground for exploring various different things symbolically, whether it be, singing, dancing, listening to music, making music. It's a time when we should trust our inner voice and let our creativity flow, and this can result in the creation of meaningful and authentic pieces of art or other work that reflects, your true essence, your true feelings and self-expression. So it invites us to explore our passions and interests and gives us the freedom to pursue new hobbies and engage in activities that ignites our creative spirit. On the emotional level, it allows for us to process and heal and dig deep into our emotional experiences. By doing this, we can understand them more fully and allow for growth and healing. So it's a time where we can use this energy of Mercury being in bounds, and it's in bounds, for the most of the year really. It only really goes out of bounds once or twice a year. So it's in bounds a lot of the time. So throughout the year, for at least 10 months, we are typically supported by Mercury being in bounds to engage in practices that promote our emotional well-being and self-care and prioritise our emotional health and seek out support systems that assist in our healing processes. It can increase our self-awareness and reflection, forgiveness, acceptance, understanding, management, allowing for the release of pent-up emotions and the development of healthier emotional patterns. So Mercury coming back in bounds invites us to embrace our emotions, acknowledge their significance and take steps towards emotionally healing and transformation. And so now I'm just going to talk about the overall positives, negatives and the best use of Mercury being in bounds. So when it's in bounds, Mercury, and also when it's not in retrograde as well, because it can still be in bounds and in retrograde, but in general it allows us to make better decisions that can lead to better outcomes, and we may find ourselves just more able to express ourselves and understand others' thoughts with more precision. But negatively, we can become restless and agitated, and miscommunications and misunderstandings still happen even though Mercury's back in its normal realms of inbounds, depending on the sign it's in, moves into throughout that time and all the rest of it. So anyway, ideally, Mercury inbounds is an ideal time to have important conversations, negotiate deals, start new projects that require clear and concise communication. It's a good energy to use to organise thoughts and plan ahead and pay attention to details that may have been overlooked during Mercury's being out of bounds or when Mercury's in retrograde as well. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the aspects that Mercury makes this year when it comes back in bounds, and these are going to affect the whole period while it's in bounds. So Mercury makes a semi-square to Jupiter, Mercury makes a trine to Saturn, a sextile to Uranus and a square to Chiron. So Mercury semi-square to Jupiter can bring challenges in our communication and decision making, and we may overcommit or take on too much or promise too much, and this can lead to scattered thoughts and difficulty focusing. Now, me personally, I like to multitask, but I've been observing myself, especially over the past 4 to 5 years. And sometimes my ability to multitask is really, really good, but sometimes it makes work longer because I'm jumping from one task to the other. So it just depends on what you're actually doing. I'm focusing now on staying in peak state, flowing, sticking on one task and seeing how that makes me feel, So, just thinking of ways that can help you handle all the responsibilities that you have. Also, positively, Mercury semi-square to Jupiter can make us more enthusiastic and have a desire for expansion, explore new ideas and possibilities. Mercury's trine to Saturn allows us to be methodical, technical and structured and organised, have routine and order. It allows us to foster clearer communication and be more concise and strategic in our planning and stick to our plans by taking accountability and responsibility for our actions and the things we allow in our life. It encourages us to complete tasks and fulfill our commitments. So this energy is going to last us for about 5 months, because Mercury goes out of bounds again in November. So over the next 5 years, have you been putting off projects for a decade, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 3 years, have you thought, oh, this project's gotten so overwhelming, I don't know where to start? Well, you do. Start at the beginning, This energy supports us to complete tasks, even the hard ones right now, over the next 5 months. Mercury sextile to Uranus brings a dynamic, innovative energy to Mercury being back in bounds over the next 5 months. So it allows us to be quicker in our thinking, have more original ideas, grasp information more quickly, especially complex tasks and routines. Even if you've been trying to lose weight or exercise or something for 1 year, 2 years, a decade, this energy can really once again support us following through, even when we failed before. It promotes us to be open-minded and a willingness to explore new, unconventional approaches to achieving what we want to achieve in our lives. It gives us that spark of genius, but negatively it can make us more restless as well and make us find it hard to focus and stuff. So we've got Mercury sextile Uranus doing that, Mercury's trying to Saturn also having that and the negative as well. So we just need to make sure we don't burn out. We take breaks when we need to, break tasks down into small daily habits. So consistency, make that your key word for the next the rest of the year, and you can have breakthroughs and unique insights if you're flexible and adaptable in your communication. Mercury square to Chiron brings challenges to our communication and thought processes, and of course Mercury's going to go in retrograde and stuff as well in between. So this can add to us over analysing, criticising ourselves, having difficulty expressing ourselves, as I said. That leads to self-doubt, and this can make us vulnerable and sensitive. So it's important to approach discussions with empathy, understanding, and you understanding yourself and your thoughts. I know you can beat yourself up over maybe your toxic thought patterns, toxic ways of relating to yourself and others and all the rest of it, but as long as you're taking daily steps to overcome your self-destructive thoughts and behaviours, just keep on going, and this energy allows us to confront and heal any wounds that get in the way of our growth and transformation, and just provides ample energy for self-love, reflection, discovery, awareness and alignment, understanding and management as well. So now I'm going to talk about the karmic meanings of Mercury coming back in bounds. Okay, so on the karmic level, Mercury coming back in bounds serves as an opportunity for us to learn lessons that are related to, effective self-expression and communication, being mentally flexible and sharp, and, learning skills, updating our skills, and, allowing ourselves to grow as we, go through our lives as well. So past lives where we had unfinished business involving the themes of interpersonal communication and personal education, communication and teaching and networking with others may come to our mind, and it's asking us to reflect on creating clearer communication and adjusting to transitions and embracing flexibility in our ideas and behaviours as we progress. It gives us a chance to grasp essential teachings concerning articulate expression, because a lot of the times, we can cause tension in our lives, unnecessary wastes of energy because of the way we communicate with others, and not understanding them or talking in a way that upsets people. And of course, we can't always make sure that we don't upset others, but we can always apologise when we do and give grace and forgiveness when other people overstep our boundaries as well. So Mercury coming back in bounds wants us to think about how we can become more productive in the ways that we use our communication. So now I'm going to talk about how Mercury coming back in bounds affects our relationships. So in terms of family relationships, it can improve our connections as we can be more willing to express our thoughts and feelings, and this can lead to better understanding and deeper connections and the resolutions of long-standing issues. So family, foods can come to an end right now, but on the negative end, despite the improved communication, misunderstandings and family arguments and foods and we're not talking to that side of the family and all of that can still continue because of misinterpretations of messages or confusion in getting our intentions across or understanding intentions as well. And this can lead to disagreements and conflicts in our family unit. And it's sort of like, crucial for us to practice active listening, not only in family relationship, but all our relationships at this time, and have more patience and empathy for ourselves and others, and to get through, challenges and misunderstandings. And this can strengthen family relationships right now. In terms of friendship, you could reconnect with old friends, but it can bring excitement and fun at first, as it provides opportunity to reminisce about shared memories and catch up on each other's lives and talk about the past and all the rest of it as well. But arguments can come up as well because unresolved issues can surface or create misunderstandings between friends. So it's essential to approach conflicts with open honesty and communication, and seeking to understand each other's perspectives and finding common ground. And by addressing disagreements respectfully and working towards resolving them, old friendships can be strengthened and the bond between friends can deepen. In terms of cold workers, there can be a lot of efficiency and productivity in the workplace because communication can be improved, leading to ideas to flow more freely, and this can be a boost in team morale and lead to great collaboration and problem solving. And so targets can be met and there can be high levels of success. But negatively, tensions can escalate. One minute things can be fine and the next minute, because people can be more assertive at this time, or just in expressing their ideas, or just in their opinions or whatever, this can bring up power struggles. In terms of committed relationships, there can be a deeper understanding between partners, and this can resolve conflicts because of active listening and creating a safe space and just taking the time to understand each other's. But misunderstandings can still come up because of lack of clarity. Hookup relationships, people can find it easier to express their thoughts and feelings, once again strengthening the bond, but still misunderstandings can cause friction there, so it's important to be patient and empathetic. For singles, it's a great opportunity to have meaningful conversations and network with others. But negatively, for singles, when Mercury comes back in bounds, there can be a tendency to rush decisions and misinterpret signals, and this can lead to potential relationship complications. In terms of self-partner relationships, you can get more clarity in your personal goals and desires, and have a strengthened sense of self and awareness and overall well-being during this time. But again, self-doubt and over-analysis can affect the stability of yourself partnership, so just be gentle with yourself and try and have some fun. In terms of career development, overall, because of the increased clarity in communication and the ability to get ideas across effectively, negotiations can become better. Personal development can be really enhanced right now because people can just be more focused on getting things done. But mental fog can get in the way, and indecisiveness. Having too much choices can also stunt your growth right now. In terms of spiritual development, it allows us to have an increased sense of intuition and allow our rational side to work with our more sensual, intuitive side, and we can just feel more connected connected to the universe, ourselves and others. It supports us in, just being at one with ourselves if we allow it, but there can be moments of doubt and confusion that can get in the way. In terms of spiritual development, it allows us to have improved focus, mental flexibility, so this can give us better absorption of knowledge and help with our success in our academic goals. But negatively, distractions and difficulties in concentration can get in the way of us learning things. So now I'm just going to finish up by talking about the best things for creatives and professionals and other people to do when Mercury's in bounds. For creatives, it's a great time to brainstorm new ideas, work with others and express yourself through your chosen techniques and mediums. And professionals should use this to repair contacts with colleagues and clients and superiors, or to deepen the connections. It's an opportunity to clarify any misunderstandings and boost productivity in the workplace. Entrepreneurs should focus on networking, pitching their business ideas, revisiting stored projects, and making bolder decisions. So it's a great ideal time for revising business strategies and making important choices. Alternative healers can use this period to increase their healing practices, connect with clients on a deeper level and explore new techniques. Lovers can use this energy to improve communication with their partners, express their feelings openly and strengthen their bond through heartfelt conversations. Singles can use this energy to, just be more confident, put themselves out there, engage in meaningful conversations with potential partners or friends, and open up to new, relationships. Self-partnered people should use this time to set clear intentions for your future and just revisit any old goals and projects that you've been putting on hold and, going for it. So that's the end of my analysis of all the things to do when Mercury comes back in bounds from being out of bounds, and it does this about 2 to 3 times each year. Take care and see you next time.